everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and I like to talk about books, and today I am going to reacquaint myself with my physical TBR cart because I have been reading books off this cart but at a very, very slow pace, and I've been experiencing like recency bias with the books that I'm picking out. It's very much giving LIFO, last in, first out. So there's some books on this cart that have been here for years. There are books that I can tell have been sun-dyed on the edges because it's been years. It's been years. Much like the plant I'm staring at right now. My God, my snake plant is about to die. How did that happen? I'll be right with you.
How do you kill a snake plant?
So my goal here is to create like a priority physical TBR because this is getting out of hand. It used to be organized by like genre, and that has just completely gone out the window. There's also books on here that definitely shouldn't be on here where like I want to like unhaul them and they've just like made their way into the back of the stacks. There's like series that I DNF'd that like I'm never gonna get back to that just need to be taken off. So I'm gonna do some like reorganizing as we go through this, but I kind of have in mind some of the books that I want to put on my priority TBR. Some of them are going to be books that I bought more recently, but I'm gonna try and dig into some of the ones that have been on here the longest as well. So starting with the book that I've had on here the longest, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This is embarrassing because I read like 100 pages of this book and I just like, I put it down and I never thought of it again. It wasn't like a hard DNF. Like I didn't mean to never pick it back up. I just never picked it back up. And it's been years. This book has sun-dyed edges. Can you tell? It did not used to be this color, but it's just been sitting on the shelf for so long. It's been neglected. It's literally invisible to me when I go to this cart. So I'm going to put it on my priority list because if I get back into it and I want to not finish it again, it's going to get rehomed. It's going to a free little library in my area where somebody can give it the time and attention that it deserves. Around the same time that I bought that book, I bought 3 other V.E. Schwab books that are on this cart. A Darker Shade of Magic, Vicious, and Vengeful. I've bought 4 V.E. Schwab books. I've read 0 V.E. Schwab books. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. The next book that I wanted to put on a priority TBR, oh man, there's a lot. Okay. One of the authors that I want to read more from for 2025 is James Baldwin, and I recently picked up Go Tell It on the Mountain because I read Giovanni's Room towards the end of last year. Absolutely loved it. So I picked up Go Tell It on the Mountain because this book specifically on the back, when I was looking through the synopsis and everything, it said, originally published in 1953, Baldwin said of his first novel, Mountain is the book I had to write if I was ever going to write anything else. So because of that, I'm going to read Go Tell It on the Mountain next because I loved Giovanni's Room. And if not for this book, apparently I wouldn't have been able to read it. So this is going to be next. I'm probably going to pick up the audiobook for it and try and do like a tandem read like I did with Giovanni's Room and listen to the audiobook and read the physical book at the same time. I really, really, really enjoy when I get to do that, which is why the next book that's coming onto my priority TBR stack is going to be Martyr, because I already have the audiobook for this one downloaded on the PRH Audio Influencer program. I saw that on there and downloaded it immediately. So thank you guys for the free audiobook. But I also picked up the physical copy of it. Again, I just love being able to listen and look at a book at the same time. So I'm probably going to annotate that one as well. Honestly, there's not many physical books I don't end up annotating. I like to write in books. The next book, oh my God, they're all like coming off of this top shelf so far, but that's fine. A book that everyone seemed to be talking about last year was How to Read Now by Elaine Castillo. This is a collection of essays. And there are so many like phenomenal reviewers on this app and on many others that have talked about how excellent this book is. Some people that I really, really trust their reviews on. And then one person who I also really trust his review, and he had this on like his worst lists. So I want to know what all of that is about. I love when people either like love or hate a book. And I also love when I'm going into a book and I don't have like too high of expectations. Like if every single person rated the book 5 stars and said it was life-changing, I have a really hard time getting into it because that's like a lot to live up to. But this one I now have mixed reviews for, so I want to get into it. So I heard Marinez talk about the first line of this book, which immediately made me want to buy it. And it says, white supremacy makes for terrible readers, I find. I'm in. Also, oh my gosh, funny story. So I picked this book up from a free little library. It's hi. Hello. Oh, hi. Oh, okay. Love you. Okay. Go have a good nap. Shake, 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 shake. Okay. So Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. This one was really interesting because I found it in a free little library, and I picked it up just because it says the cornerstone of modern environmentalism. First published in 1962, Silent Spring alerted a large audience to the environmental and human dangers of indiscriminate use of pesticides, spurring revolutionary changes in the laws affecting our air, land, and water. Silent Spring became a runaway bestseller with international reverberations. Even as she had not inspired a generation of activists, Carson would prevail as one of the greatest nature writers in American letters. So I picked this one up because I was like, yes, cornerstone of modern environmentalism. I want to know more about it. But also, somebody else, like before they dropped it in the free little library, annotated this book. And I love when I come across other people's annotation of a book. I'm pretty sure somebody read this for school, just based off of some of the annotations that I can see in here. But I want to read this. I want to see what this other person decided to annotate in it. But also, I was playing a trivia game with my husband the other day, and this book came up in the trivia card. So I was like, okay, that's my sign that I need to get to it as soon as possible. So this one is going on my priority TBR list. Something fun and sweet. Xander and Santi were here. I like ran to the bookstore when this book came out originally. I was so excited to get it like right when it released, and then I never picked it up. I think this stack could use a little queer YA romance. So it's getting one. Another author that I really want to come back to in 2025, Orquídea Mezi, and I still haven't read The Death of Vivek Oji. I've picked it up multiple times and then just like put it back down. But I want to pick it back up, especially this year. It's going in the stack. This is going to be a large stack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books already. Okay, we're going to cap it at 10. We're going to say 10 books on the priority TBR list at a time. At some point, I will come back to the second and third book in the Poppy War trilogy, but that's not going to be anytime soon. We're a little too close to, some of these things are just a little too graphic for me right now. Too real for me right now. Also, Legendborn, I bought this one when I think the book was still supposed to be part of a trilogy, and then they expanded that, and now I'm nervous to start it because I don't know how many books are going to be in this series. I tend to not stay invested in series after they've been expanded because they tend to lose the plot a little bit. So I want to see how the diehard fans feel about this series before I pick it up officially. And I also want all the books to be out. So one day soon, hopefully, I'll be able to pick this one up. Okay, we're going to add one more, and that's going to be it. The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. I've had this book on the shelf for a very long time. Yeah, I saw the paperback of this book recently, and it was beautiful. And I realized that like when I bought this book, it was only available in hardback, and now the paperback is available. That's how long it's been. And I really want to get to this one. This one says, the stars have shifted, the earth has turned, the time is here, I am dying, come and collect your inheritance. Essentially, there's like magic that is inherited throughout the generations. There's, I think, 4 sisters, and they are inheriting the magic of their ancestors. I'm very interested to read it. I was very interested to read it. I forgot all about it on my shelf. Here we come back to it. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. 8 books for a priority TBR. I feel like that's pretty good. Oh, actually, I have 2 more. These ones aren't on my TBR cart because they're rereads. So technically they are on my finished bookshelf. But I want to reread them in 2025. The first one being Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I know there's some like Frankenstein movies coming out later this year. I think Frankenstein is just going to have its big moment in 2025. It's been a while since I've given it the time and attention that it deserves. So, and then similarly, last year, Percival Everett's James was one of my like favorite reads of the year, and it has been probably over a decade since I read The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. So I would like to do a reread of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn so that I can appreciate James even more. Okay, now, do I already know that there's going to be more physical books that I read this year because of the fact that I'm reading Elena Ferrante's Neapolitan series right now? Like I'm in the middle of the second book, A Story with a New Name, I believe is what it's called. And I have the 2 other books in that series. So obviously these 2 are also going to be, I'm not adding it to the stack, okay? These are in progress right now. I'm considering that story, like that quartet, just one book. In my mind, that's one book split into 4 parts. They're not going on the stack because that's going to get overwhelming. But 10 books seems reasonable. And then while I'm here, I think I'm just gonna organize. So here, maybe I'll just do like a montage of that. Okay, wish me luck and subscribe if you want to see how this all goes.